ye cha anumodams tad avachayitam divija ye cha anumodam tad avachayitam divijaha ye cha anvamodas avachayitam divijaha विज्ञाय सापम गिरीशानुग्रहणेर नंदीश्वरो रोष कषया दूषितः दक्षाय सापम विसिसर्ज्य दारुणम् ये चान्वमोदं तद् अवयचतं दिविजः विज्ञाय सापं गिरीशानुग्राणीर् नंदीश्वरो रोष कषाय दूषितः दक्षाय सापं विससर्ज्य दारुणम् ये चान्वोदं तद्विचचं दिविजीविजः विज्ञाय सापं गिरिशानुग्राणी नंदीश्वरो रोष कषाय दूषितः दक्षाय सापं विससर्ज दारुणम् ये चान्वन्मोदं तद्दाव्यचतं दिविजः विज्ञाय सापं गिरीशानुग्राणी नंदीश्वर रोष कषाय दूषितः दक्षाय सापं विससर्ज दारुणम् ये चान्वमोदं तदवच्छतं दिविजः. Word by word translation. Vignaya, understanding. Sapam, the curse. Girisa, of Shiva. Anugagrinihi, one of the principal associates. Nandishwara, Rosa, anger. Kashaya, red. Dushitaha, blinded. Dakshaya, to Daksha. Sapam, a curse. Visasarja, gave. Darunam, harsh. A, who. Cha, and. Anvamodam, tolerated. Tat avachayatam, the cursing of Shiva. Divijaha, Brahmanas. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Upon understanding that Lord Shiva has been cursed, Nandishwara, one of Lord Shiva's principal associates, became greatly angry. His eyes became red, and he prepared to curse Daksha and all the Brahmanas present there, who had tolerated Daksha's cursing Shiva in harsh words. Purport. There is a long-standing dissension among some of the neophyte Vaishnavas and Saivites. They are always at loggerheads. When Daksha cursed Lord Shiva in harsh words, some of the Brahmanas present might have enjoyed it because some Brahmanas do not very much admire Lord Shiva. This is due to their ignorance of Lord Shiva's position. Nandishwara was affected by the cursing, but he did not follow the example of Lord Shiva, who was also present there. Although Lord Shiva could also cursed Daksha in similar way, he was silent and tolerant. But Nandishwara, his followers, was not tolerant. Of course, as a follower, it's right for him not to tolerate an insult to his master, but he should have not cursed the Brahmanas who were present. The entire issue was so complicated that those who are not strong enough forgot their positions, and thus cursing and counter cursing went on in that great assembly. In other words, the material field is so unsteady that even personalities like Nandishwara, Daksha, and many of the Brahmanas present were infected by the atmosphere of anger. Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jnana Jana Salakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapatakamallam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhasya Kripa Sindhobe Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you everyone. I'll take blessings of all the Vaishnava assembled here. I'll take blessings of my Siksha Guru mentors and all the well-wishers. I'll take blessings of Prabhupada and my Guru Maharaj so that I can glorify the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are in the middle of a mage war kind of one. It's like we can imagine there is a sacrifice is going on, fire sacrifice, where Daksha is cursing Lord Shiva. And then when we could have seen from 10th text onwards, the 10 verses, he will be cursing, Daksha will be cursing Lord Shiva without knowing his position. He will say that you spoil the name, fame, you are shameless, and then he will go on thing. Even he will say that you are like a Marakata, you has like a monkey, you has eyes of like a monkey. So Daksha went on and on. Daksha went on and on cursing the Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva was, if you look at, he was very tolerant, and then Daksha didn't understand the position of Lord Shiva. He was keep on cursing it. He went on and on, like you live in a filthy places like crematorium. He didn't understand the position of Karsha. You have seen that last 10 text of the one where Lord Shiva was tolerant. Now with the 20th one, right? If you look at his Nandishwara, he's been called as a chief associate, right? So that means he's one of the chief associate, Anuga Agraniha. Even if you go to a Lord Shiva temple, first we'll pray to the Lord Nandishwara and then only we'll go on it. That's a position of Lord Nandishwara, right? He's a one. So it's all obvious, like if you have been a spiritual master or your Lord has been, let's say somebody has blasphemed it, he's get the angry of it. But what is the mistake of Nandishwara done it? What he has done it? Because the situation is such a intense moment. It's like a keep on somebody is cursing your, let's say, beloved Lord and your spiritual master. Definitely everybody will get angry of it, right? If he's not a get angry, that's a problem. So he get angry. Nandishwara, there is a din, and then he's such a high, exalted position, right? So he get angry. So if you look at the key word of it, Rosha Kashaya Dushitaha. Prabhupada has read, Rosha is anyway anger. Prabhupada has written it, it's like its eyes have become red and then he prepared to curse. Kashaya Dushitaha means it's another way of telling it. He's been like, what is that? Contaminated and polluted kind of one. It is like with anger, he became more contaminated and polluted. Because when anger comes, what will happen? We'll just burst it out, right? So that is the one. And then what? The another option is Dakshaya Sapam, to Dakshaya to curse. The other word he used is Visasarja Darunam. Sasarja is like, it's like release and give or kind of thing. Visasarja, it's a forcefully. So when Nandishwara, what happened, it at the moment he got forcefully and then hard, it's like outburst has happened to Nandishwara. The very important aspect of it, he has cursed the Brahmanas present over there. So that's the biggest another aspect of it, what the Nandishwaras. When he got the anger is justifiable. Everybody should get the anger at the position. So because it is his beloved Lord, right? So he's been done. He got anger. But the problem is what happened with the anger? The anger has blinded, it has polluted, is contaminated in. He has started cursing a lot. If you look at that one, the curses, maybe we'll be looking from the next chapter onwards, the curses. So basically he'll just give predominantly 3 curses, all the persons over here. He tell that you become like a dull as a stone, you will not have any spiritual knowledge, you will become like a materialistic. Hearing that itself, it's a big for sages, right? So they don't want to hear you become a materialistic, right? And then he kept on cursing, and then they said that you will be fall into a trap of birth and death. That is something which cannot be tolerated. And then he finally told that for Daksha he'll get the goat face and thing. So when he has done what happened, then later we'll read that the sage Brigumuni he got offended, he'll start cursing back. So the situation has become, Daksha has made a fault. So when Nandishwara has reacted in anger, it has worsened the situation, right? So that's something. So if you look at that one, so what the anger makes up for, this is something it is telling about how the anger will make the situation worse of it, right? So we know from Bhagavad Gita, Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammoha smriti vibramaha, smriti vibramaha buddhi nasho pranashati. So when the anger comes, what happened? We entered into sammoha, moha, illusion. We entered into illusion. So when the illusion happened, then thing is the memory will get bewildered. So in our anyway Kali Yuga, we all with the memory bewildered only. Then after when that happens, it's like buddhi nasho. That means your intelligence will completely lost. Once what is that? Pranashati, it's a falls down kind of one. So that is the cycle of the one it's happening onto it, right? So, but let us understand more on what the Prabhupada is telling us. This is one of the, it's a sweet and short purport by Bhaktivedanta purport. So if you look at that one, how Prabhupada starts with that one, he's telling that always there is some distinction among neophyte Vaishnavas and Saivites. Always there will be dissensions. So we may not know Vaishnavas and Saivite one, right? As a neophyte, when we go for, I think few of us would have gone for a book distribution. When you go for a book distribution, always we see we call as a time waster. Definitely would have met them and we would have spent lot of time arguing with them, trying to convince them. We know that we are only getting done it. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. This is the only way kind of people will be seeing, and then we'll try to give books, and then time is right. Always we'll try to have some kind of a stage where we try to argue and kind of one. But when we look at the real Vaishnavas, they will not have any dissension. They are paradukha dukhi, right? So if you look at the one Hope you might have known about Kuratalwar Kuresh. Have you heard about Kuresh? He's one of the, yeah, he's one of the prime disciple of Ramanujacharya, right? So the story is very long. I'll just tell the very one small story of the one, how with the Saivat there is a dissension, how Kuratalwar has behaved. That's a something, that's a real exalted Vaishnava position, right? So in the Chola Nadu, it's a dynasty of Chola. It's in the southern part of India. So there was a king from the Chola. He was a Saivat fanatic, right? Because Saivat fanatic, that's a word, it's a very important one, because he didn't know the position of Lord Shiva, position of the Lord Vishnu, and then he want to tell that, want to root out of the Vaishnavism. This was happened 1,000 years ago, where Ramanuja was trying to build the Sri Sampradaya, and then lot of Vaishnavism has been building on it. They Saivat, they always have the conflict. So what happened is, this king has summoned Ramanujacharya to appear to his court, and then tried to have a engagement, just scholarly debate. But the king ultimate intention motive was to beat the Ramanujacharya, do something bad to him, so that he have to accept the Saivat. So the king intention has been known. The Kuresh, the Kuratalwar, he is one of the prime disciple, and then what he did is, he proxied as a Ramanujacharya, and then he went to that arena. So the people don't know whether he is a Ramanujacharya or a Kuresh. They thought it's a Ramanujacharya. And then they asked it, where is your disciple Kuresh? Then he thought, okay, I got caught now, what can I do? Then there is somebody, Mahapurna, he is a 105 years old person. He said that I am the Kuresh. So they don't know anyone. They took it. The king also has not seen or anyone. They went, and then there is a debate was going on. Kuresh has defeated them. He has given all the shastric point and then did. And then, but the king was infuriated. He could not accept it. So when what happened is, he got a thing. He just told that with a very anger. So you accept the Shiva as the supreme personality of Godhead. He said that no, we cannot do it. This thing. So then what they said, the king was so angry and furious. He said that I'm going to pluck out of your eyes. So Kuratalwar, what he did is, you no need to pluck out, I'll only pluck out my eyes, and then he'll throw it out. So then the Mahapurna, he's 105 years old, they have plucked out of his eyes as well. So that was the situation happened on it, right? So if you look at that one, the very important aspect of it, long story start, we just fast forward a lot. At the end, so Mahapurna has died because he's a very aged, and Kuratalwar was serving his spiritual master Ramanujacharya without eyes. He used to talk to the Lord and thing. Ramanujacharya will ask, you go and talk, because you talk to Varadaraja, he is a Lord Vishnu, you go and talk to Varadaraja and get your eyes back. So spiritual master is asking to talk to thing. He was very reluctant. He don't want to go and ask something for the one. And then he goes and asks to the Lord Varadaraja, you please save the king. That is the one he will ask it. That's the mood of the real Vaishnavas. They are paradukha dukhi. So because what happened is, when there's Chola king, what happened, he got some kind of a disease. The insect starts coming from his chin, neck and everything. He died it. So whereas Kuratalwar mood is, he didn't think that, oh yeah, you have cursed me, now you are suffering it. He's not the one. When he was about to pray for his own thing, he prayed, oh Varadaraja Perumal, please forgive that king, so that he can do it. That's what he prayed it. That's a big past tense. We just see that in the context of the dissension, how the Vaishnavas, the thing, right? So one. The other important aspect is, if you look at that one, Lord Shiva could also, what the Prabhupada said is, Lord Shiva also could have cursed the Daksha. Shiva has all the mystic powers. He can have a bigger than the Daksha, what he has it. His curse is much power. But he was silent and tolerant. This is another very important one, what we really need to understand it, right? See, when we embrace the hatred, right, when we embrace our hatred, if our heart is full of hate, what will have it, we'll be start forget about others goodness. Whereas when we embrace the love in our heart, we'll start forgiving others their mistakes. So that's what the Lord Shiva is the one. It's like every Vaishnavas, what they will do is they have the take the love is in their heart. They started forgiving the people what they are going through, right? So it's all like the hatred is like it will be turned into a storm. If you look at a storm, it's all started with a small speck. It's in some ocean or something. Then it has become a devastating storm. It is completely derain everything, right? So that's a thing. So the hatred also, it will start with a small kind of one. That is what the one. That's a thing. So when we have the forgiveness, it's a sign of being a concern. We concern about somebody. That's why we have been forgiving others. Otherwise, like we not have one. Hatred is something like we are stuck in the past. So that means always we have that thought. So that's how something we do it. So if you look at the tolerant, right? So the tolerant we all learn from our Krishna itself, right? So in the Bhagavatam, we know from the 10th canto. So there will be so in the river Saraswati, there will be quite few sages. They will be sitting, and then they want to know who is the supreme personality of Godhead. There will be some debate will be coming into it. Then there is a Bhrigu Muni. So he is a chief of the one. He said that I'll go and test it out and find it out. How he is going to test it out? First he is going to Lord Brahma. So Lord Bhrigu Muni is like something like, it's like a kind of, Brahma is like a fatherly kind of a position, right? So for a Bhrigu Muni, he goes, he didn't bow down, he didn't glorify to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma got angry. So you are like my son, you didn't bow down to me, you didn't glorify. That's as per Vedic culture, that's not the right. So he got kind of angry. So then anyway Lord Shiva is due to his passion, his mode of passion, he got into angry mode, right? So then he thought, okay, so he's affected by angry. So he went to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, when he saw the Bhrigu Muni, so Lord Shiva is like he's coming and then coming to embrace. Oh, nice to see you, Bhrigu, the sage of good Bhrigu. But what happened to the Lord? That time what Bhrigu Muni did is, no, I'll not embrace you. You are a deviant of a heretic. So that means you are a irreligious kind of a person. Then Shiva got angry. Then Lord Parvati has to console him. No, it's okay and thing. So now he is going to the Vaikuntha, where Lord Shiva is Lord Vishnu is he's in the lap of Lakshmi Devi. So when Bhrigu Muni goes, what he does it? He comes and then kicks in the heart of the Lord Vishnu. So the thing is what we need to know, it's how our Lord Vishnu is a tolerant. He got up and then he's tell, welcome Brahmana, sit in this please chair and then take a rest while. I'm so sorry, I haven't noticed you have been here. What he did, Bhrigu Muni, is he kicked him with leg in his chest of the Vishnu. The reaction is like, oh, my chest is very hard, your feet is very soft, you would have got hurt, please sit and then do it. So Bhrigu Muni was in full of tears. So what we are trying to say is like the people, the exalted people, always they have been silent and tolerant because they always have their heart full of love. They don't have any hatred or envy or any other kind of one because they don't think about the consequences, right? So that's the reason of the one. So if you go further of the one, the very important of this one, right? Nandishwara one. So yes, Nandishwara, Prabhupada has written, of course as a follower it was right him to not tolerate and insult his master, but he should have not cursed the Brahmanas who are present. That's a very important point of it, right? How he could have reacted it. Because one thing we need to really understand, it's a Nandishwara. He is not, means of course, he's such an exalted position. He's a chief of the Lord Shiva one, right? So what is the thing? the Veda says a three aspect of it. How do we handle any curses of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or your spiritual master? Three things. First one is you defeat them with your arguments. They call us a cut the tongue. It's not a really, it's a meaning of cut the tongue. It's like you defeat them with the arguments. You give them and then defeat them with the arguments. Of course, if you are not able to do it, you go and die. That's the second thing what the Veda says. And then even that is also definitely we will not be doing the question. The third one is telling you just walk out of that place. You don't stand there in the place. So that's the three things what the Vedas has been teaching into it, right? So let's try to understand a bit more of the one. How do we react to it, right? Because let's look at the Ramayana example, right? Ramayana, we know that mantra, what the mantra has done. So because of mantra, things, Kaikeyi has become polluted, and then Lord Ram went to the forest, right? So then Lord Dasharatha has been passed away, so that now Bharat and Shatrughan, they are coming to the Ayodhya. They are very furious when they came to know all those things. So they don't know what to do. They are furious. When Shatrughan he saw the mantra. He got so much of anger. He went and then go and tried to kill the mantra. So he was just to go and then what is that? It's a deer when the tiger is poaching onto the deer kind of one. He's going and then do it. Because they could not tolerate what the mantra has done to their Lord Ram, right? The very important thing what we need to really understand from the Bharat Maharaj, what he has done it, Bharat, right? Bharat, he said that Shatrughan, if it's a killing of mantra, would have solved the problem. If it's a thing, I would have done 1,000 times it, right? If the killing of her, it will make my Lord more sad. It will make my Lord unhappy. So that's not the right way of doing it to it, right? So their mood, if you look at that one, even though if it has been she has made and then his Lord has been suffering it, but he is not taking any action because he knows his action will cause more unhappiness to that what not doing it. So that's something we need to really understand it, right? So if we really take a few more example of it, right? Let's say we all know Shishupal, what he has done to the Krishna, right? He was like in a Rajashwa Yagna. He was like keep on going on and on and on kind of one, where Lord Krishna was silently was tolerant and thing. Some of the people who could not tolerate it, they just walked away from that things. So that time Shukadeva Goswami has given one beautiful verse of it. Nindam Bhagavata Shravanam Tat Parashya Janashya Va Tato Na Piti Yaso Api Yati Adaha Sukritchetaha. So anyone who fails to immediately leave the place where he hears the criticism of Supreme Lord or his faithful devotees, he will certainly fall down, the beret of his pious credit. So that's what the Sukadeva Goswami is teaching us. So definitely, at least of course we are not in a position to cut the argument of their one with the one, or somebody is like Shishupal, he's on envious, Daksha is on envious, he's just going on and on, right? There is no, you cannot cut short with the envious person with on and on, he's going something, right? So either you have to die, other thing is you just walk away. That's what we learn it, right? So in this one, this is because a very important one. How do you want to react it, right? I'll just take one more example from the Bhakti Ratnakara, where Narahari tells the interaction between Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami with the Vallabha Bhattacharya, right? So we know that Rupa Goswami was writing a Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in Vrindavan. Vrindavan is a very humid and hot kind of one, where Jiva Goswami is his nephew, he is a very young, and then he used to fan him when he was writing the one. So that time Vallabha Bhattaji is coming, and then he just took the verses, and then the introductory version of the Rupa Goswami he just saw, and then he just started giving the corrections of the one. You have to change this thing, etc. So once he started looking at the corrections, so then what happened? And then Rupa Goswami was silent, was listening and everything. And then after that, Vallabha Bhattacharya, he is going to take a bath. And then Jiva Goswami got, how he can say correction to that one. His thing is not correct. He said he is going to take water. He also went to the Yamuna. So when he went, and then he was like arguing with Vallabha Bhattacharya ji, and then he is trying to defeating all his points with the argument. He did a thing, and then once he come back, Vallabha Bhattacharya, he was very happy with what Jiva Goswami has said, and then he came back. And then when he came back, and then he told to the Rupa Goswami, yes, Jiva Goswami has clarified everything. So what you have written is very good. That's a correct of it. So what the mood of the Rupa Goswami? Rupa Goswami did not say, see, look at my disciple. He is so intelligent because of he is my disciple. He didn't say it. Rupa Goswami got angry here. Rupa Goswami said that to Jiva Goswami, how you can, he revoked it, right? So how you cannot, this is not the place you have to show your scholarship of it, right? He was angry. He told that you go to Bengal and then when you calm and then come back. This is not the one. You should not react to that one. That's something kind of the mood what they are teaching into it, right? So what happened then, we know that Jiva Goswami felt very sad. Then he went to stayed in the next village, and then he was not eating anything. He was just repenting a lot, and then Sanatana Goswami mates and then bring him, and then they connected it. The intention of it, like, see, when it's a very, of course, it's a very difficult to tolerate the insult of the master, but the way we react does matter. How do we going to react, and what is the way of reacting it? We can learn from how the mood of Rupa Goswami, what he is teaching onto it, or what the Bharat Maharaj is teaching onto it, right? So the last one is the very important one. That's something I just want to read it again. The entire issue was so complicated that those who are not strong enough forget their position, and thus counter cursings went on in the great assembly. In other words, material field is so unsteady that even personality like Nandishwara, Daksha, and many of the Brahmanas present were infected by the atmosphere of anger. So the important aspect is material field is so unsteady. So even if Daksha, Nandishwara can get happen, what happens for us, right? So that's where the Bhagavatam is help us. Like, let's say we know how Ajamala has fallen down. Ajamala has fallen down for a something he's seen. In this day and age, it is, I don't know, it's more than a common of the one kind of one. Or maybe Saubari Muni, he went to he's in the river, ocean, he's inside the one. He got agitated with a small one, right? But if you look at that one, the day-to-day, the so-called our normal life, what we have, what we see, what the environment we have it is a very tough, and then do it. How do we do it? What is the strength we have it? Because we are not strong. Of course, I'm not strong. So how do we have that one? What is the things we can learn, right? So that's where the importance of it, right? Because we can easily say that Nandishwara did wrong or thing. Nandishwara, he has done it. Of course, in that place, if we would have been there, I don't know how our reaction would have been worse. But at least, of course, our curse is not that potent. That's a different story. So I think what we need to do is, this is one very good things what Prabhupada has given it. Once Indradumna Swami Maharaj and then Prabhupada are the things. We all know that Indradumna Swami Maharaj is very height, and then he's a very strong person. They are going to one airport. So in the airport, the officer, he was very kind of a rude kind of one to the Prabhupada. He was saying, Prabhupada always used to carry a bag. He is telling, open up, show the bag, open up and show it. Prabhupada is trying to do it, lock, trying to open up. He was just rude and arrogant. Indradumna Maharaj got very angry. He said that if you behave rudely to my master, your face will be I'll punch your face. And then he said that how you guys have to be a non-violent. Yes, we are non-violent, but I'll not tolerate on this thing. And then Prabhupada shows and then things and then done, they walk away. That's a very important thing, we need to really understand it. So they're just walking away, then Prabhupada stops. So I'll just read it because it's a beautiful word. I don't want to think. So okay, so because this is a Prabhupada word, because people in this material world associate with the modes of nature, they have no good qualities. Do you understand Indradumna? Indradumna Maharaj said, yes, Prabhupada. The first question is, he said is, because people in this material world associate with the modes of nature, they have no good qualities. That's the first statement by the Prabhupada. Indradumna Maharaj, he said, yes, Prabhupada. Yes, that's right, that's the thing. Then they are walking. Then Prabhupada stops one more time. So he just tells that they are hovering on the mental platform without Krishna consciousness, but with all bad qualities. Do you understand, Indradumna? That's the second time he's asking it. Yes, Prabhupada. That's the thing. He is not really getting it, what Prabhupada is trying to say, what Prabhupada is trying to say. So, first time he said that they don't have a good qualities, and then because of modes of interaction, modes of material nature. Second time he said that they are hovering in the mental speculation with no Krishna consciousness, they have the bad qualities. One. The last one is a very thing, which is what hit the Indradumna Maharaj hard. Just before they got on the plan, again Prabhupada stopped the walking, and then he told that because of association with modes of nature, they are going down. But if we can revive their Krishna consciousness, they will develop all good qualities. Do you understand? Then Indradumna Maharaj has understood it. Right? So what if you look at the Prabhupada, right, the mood of the one. So see, if you look at what happened, the officer was rude, arrogant. Indradumna Maharaj was like, if you do it, I'll punch you on the one. But whereas really the person should have got hurt is the Prabhupada. If you look at the Prabhupada's mood, what he's trying to do it, he's just trying to look at the one. The people due to the modes of material nature, engage with the modes of material nature, they don't have the good qualities. So only by giving them the Krishna consciousness, we can revive their good qualities, and then that's how we can just have the engagement and things can move on. So that's the mode which has been carrying on it, right? Otherwise there is no hope, at least in this the so-called field which is of unsteady, right? It's like unsteady. If you go thing, it's a very, if you look at the one, it's a very whether it's like people are either we are ungrateful, even of course we also are ungrateful, or inappropriate behavior or irrational kind of one, either we do to somebody else or somebody do to others. How do we happen it? We definitely we get anger. Definitely somebody is ungrateful. I have done so much things for you. You are not grateful to me, right? So that we get anger of it. So what generally we do it, this is the way we are doing it. The so-called modern way of like it, it's a two way of handling it. One is that you let it loose. So that means you just passionate, outburst and everything. Or other way of like it, you just lock it up. So that means you just try to have it in the one. So if you try to do it, what will happen it in our heart, right? So both the ways are not the correct, because anger, it's like it's a short-term emotion, but the scares it creates when it's outburst, it's a long-term of it, right? So of course I made so many scares for many people. I'm so sorry for that one. So that scares that noon. Otherwise the locking up it, it's like what will happen? We'll become hard. So next day when we do chanting, definitely we'll go for a task. We have definitely all the thoughts will come on it. Even next day, you can imagine after so many, what happened in, at least when I was 10 years, 12 years, that thoughts will come when you're doing a chanting, what we are going to do it. So this is a beautiful one, Swami Keshav Maharaj is do it. He said once of it. It's like we, others expression, if we have tried to have it in our thing is, that shows that there is some vacuum in our emotions of it. That means our emotions have not been fulfilled of it, right? We trying to fulfill our emotions with the other human beings in the material. That's not bad, that's right. But the thing is, how far they are also thing, right? Then they are also can do it. The only thing is, if we have our emotions engaged with the Krishna and then service of the one, that's a way of the real reciprocation happening. That's where we can have it. That's the real thing is. It's not like we can have not hurt, our heart will become a soft and then have it one, right? So just one last point, I'll just means one small story of it, how it is there in the internal of it, right? There are quite a lot of stories from our scripture. I'll just take one stories which is quite known one. So there was one person, he wants to get initiated. So he thought, I have all the qualities, I'll go and ask my Guru Maharaj, give me the initiation. He'll give the initiation. He goes and asks the Maharaj, please accept me as a disciple and thing. His Maharaj knows him. Okay, you go and chant for a month, and after that you take early morning, take a bath, and then wear a new clean cloth and come and meet me. So then I'll give initiation. So he was just chanting for 1 month, and he wears a new dress, and then he's coming one, and then he's in the thing. So that time one sweeper was sweeping the road, right? So when he's sweeping, the dust has came in the one. He got so much furious of it. Today is my initiation day. My Maharaj asked me to come in clean cloth. How can you do these things? Now what is the thing? And then he blasted him. So then he told. So Maharaj said that, see, I was doing everything Maharaj as you said it, but because of this sweeper I got the one. So what you do it? No, it's okay, no problem. You can do next month. You go and chant and come after the one. Next month, now thing is, it went. Now the same sweeper, unfortunately, he brushed with his sweep mop floor with him on the shirt, and then it got dirt. He got again angry. How come you he blasted him? You fool! You don't know I'm coming. You could have been more careful of the one. And then he told, see, this is only one. This is the one. He said, okay, no worries. Next time on the one. Next time he goes, and then thing. So he chanted and then one. So when he comes back, this time the sweeper got really frustrated. Every time you just for my unknowingly doing something, you are just blasting me. Now I am knowingly I'll do it. He put all the garbage on him. So that time is the one he think, oh, I am so sorry. You are. Then he just realized it. I'm so sorry. You are just doing your work. I should have waited it. I just came and disturbed it. So it's okay. Then he took it as a positive way and then do it. Then his Maharaj has accepted his and then disciple it. So it's like it's in the heart. That's the only thing is, because in the nature of unsteady world, only the chanting is the one thing to do it. I'll just stop with the last one poem by Mother Teresa. It is a quite famous poem. Some of you might know it. So which Swayambhavan Keshav Maharaj has quoted it. People are often unreasonable, illogical and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are honest and sincere, people may cheat you. Be honest and sincere anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. So this is a Mother Teresa's poem, right? So it's like what Swayambhavan Keshav Maharaj is finally ends up with the one. In the final analysis, it's between you and God. It's never between you and them anyway. So that's a one. So in the world of unsteady, we are not strong. Thing is, we have the only one way of handling is with the holy name and with the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita Shastras were the one. With that one, we learn of one and do it. So that's all my side. Is there any corrections, comments? Thank you, Prabhu. So, see, as we see that Veda says that three aspect of it, means it's like argument. Definitely, we are not in that position of it, of, because the people who talks depends on the thing, right? Whether they are talking on the envy. For envy people, there is no meaning of argument and cutting it them. If it is the ignorance of the people, definitely we can tell them this is one. We can try to one. First thing is on the people of it. Definitely go on dying is not a thing is. Then the walk away aspect of it. So this is the same thing. This Gargamuni and then Prabhupada is having a conversation of the one, where the Gargamuni asked the Prabhupada of it one. Prabhupada, somebody is what is that? Chanting a mantra, holy name, they are considering is a matter. So how can we tolerate that, Prabhupada? Because holy name is like a Krishna. We cannot call a Krishna as a matter. How can we tolerate it? Gargamuni was asking the one. Then Prabhupada quotes this one, whether you have to cut them with the defeat or you have to do that one. That's the Shastra says that one. He said that the simple way is you just walk away and chant and then walk away. You just keep on chanting and walk away. That's what the Gargamuni has told to the Prabhupada in their conversation of it. That's what, that is maybe Prabhupada is telling to us of things. In kind of a situation, you just keep chanting and walk away. You just think. Even Bhagavatam also for our age of the one, what it been the Shishupal one, when the few people have been walked away, if you have not really walk away and stand there, you will fall down. You will lose all the pious credit of it. That's what the things which I am taking out. Thank you. Thank you. Grindraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.